Hey guys, welcome to Switch Culture. Every now and then a trade that's been simmering bubbles up and gets some traction before dying down and repeating the process. As we get close to the All-Star break, one such trade is the James Wiseman for Myles Turner trade. If I had $1 for every time this trade has been mentioned, I'd be on a yacht laughing as I speed by and splash the brother Klay Thompson on his water meter. Jokes aside, while the concept of the trade itself has some age to it, the overall context and content of it changes as the teams evolve over time. More so the Warriors though, and less so the Pacers. The Pacers unfortunately have not been able to see any kind of success, what with the revolving door at the coach's office, and are in desperate need of a complete overhaul and change in direction in order to allow the fans to have someone to talk about other than Reggie Miller. A deal that involves the Warriors' second overall pick in his second year and salary filler would likely see the Pacers salivating. But what would entice the Warriors into trading this 7-foot paint-dominating and floor-spacing unicorn for a veteran that costs almost 3 times as much? Is Myles Turner that good? Their 15-29 record as of this video tells me otherwise. What would the Warriors gain from this trade, and what would they lose? So the overall trade package would be that the Warriors get Myles Turner and the Pacers get James Wiseman, Kevon Looney, Nemanja Bjelica, and a 2023 first-round pick. On paper, the trade is solid. Salaries work out, the Warriors get a veteran center with plenty of experience, and the Pacers get a young potential franchise player to pair with Sabonis, as well as backups to use in any other trade deal they might be interested in. Just to give you some perspective on what exactly the Warriors would be getting, Turner is a 6'11" floor spacing center. He's a lottery pick who was drafted as the 11th overall in the first round back in 2015. This was the draft of the big man. I'm not kidding, guys. Karl Anthony Towns was the first pick, Jahlil Okafor was drafted 3rd, Porzingis 4th, Willie Cauley-Stein 6th, Frank Kaminsky at 9, and then Myles Turner at 11. For a league that was trending towards players with outside scoring capability, it is eye-opening to have 6 centers drafted in the lottery, 5 of them in the top 10, be drafted ahead of Turner. That being said, Myles is far and away a much better player than at least 3 of the aforementioned players. Frank Kaminsky is out with injury for the Suns, Jahlil Okafor is on a plane to China, and I'm pretty sure Willie Cauley-Stein is trimming weeds somewhere in Texas after being replaced by Marquise Chris by the Dallas Mavericks. With such talent selected ahead of Turner, we need to dig into his resume a bit more to see first whether or not the talent is even there to take the Warriors above the threshold to compete, or if he'll turn out to be just another broken Chinese weed whacker. The first thing we notice on Turner's resume is he's currently injured. Big red flag.
Hold on a minute, player. Now,
Wiseman is rehabbing at the moment as well, with a likely return somewhere between early and mid-February. But with his 5-year advantage being miles younger than Turner, this could turn into a big bust for the Warriors and a Matrix-level bullet dodge for the Pacers. The next thing we notice is that Turner is making $18 million. The Warriors already have Curry, Klay, Wiggins, and Dre all on max contracts, so adding another $18 million into the starting lineup right away is boatloads, considering the luxury tax is 4 times the salary. Lacob and Co would be grabbing their ankles by the time they went deep enough into their pockets to afford this starting lineup, as well as maintaining the current depth. Yes, they'd be giving up a lot of depth and would questionably become more top-heavy. As we've seen happen to the Lakers, it isn't always the talented players that win. Chemistry is a much more important factor, as is having more talent distributed through your roster, aka depth. The Warriors have been able to win games without exhausting Steph Curry with the offensive load. While Steph Curry is still the number 1 factor in offense for the Dubs, whether he's putting the ball through the basket or not, the fact that the Warriors have pieces that fit together so seamlessly has allowed the Warriors to find early success in the season. So what could the Warriors benefit by getting Turner? Turner is averaging 13 points per game, 7 rebounds, 33% from 3, and 51% from the field in 29 minutes. In case you're wondering, that is lower percentage 3-point shooting than what Bjelica has averaged so far this season, lower field goal percentage than Looney, and just 1.5 points more than Baby Wiseman did in his rookie year. He won't carry much offensive load for the Warriors, but if the Warriors traded for Turner, it wouldn't be because of what he brought to the team on offense. What Turner does bring is rim protection. Turner is rejecting attempts at a whopping 2.8 blocks per game, leading the entire league in this statistical category. He's ahead of Rudy Gobert by a half of a point, the largest gap between any 2 consecutive players, a statistic in which Kevon Looney ranks 49th at less than a block per game. But that's about it for Turner. When it comes to the top overall rim protectors in the league, he falls far short of the players who allow the lowest percentage of field goal attempts by an opponent. Factually speaking, Turner is not even ranked in the top 10 rim protectors in the league. As you can see here, the defensive field goal percent leaders start with Giannis at the top, holding opponents to 47.1%. Gobert in second place, Jaren Jackson third, McGee at fourth, Hartenstein fifth, Whiteside sixth, a rookie Evan Mobley of the Cavaliers in seventh, Porzingis and Precious Achiuwa tied at 8th, and DeAndre Ayton in 10th at 51.1% of field goals allowed. So where is Myles Turner? Turner is ranked 16th for rim protection, allowing a 54% score rate for opponents. For perspective, that means Turner's defensive field goal percent is middle of the pack for a starting player. However, for a player that the Warriors would be acquiring for what he brings to the team on defense, and considering the Warriors years ago gave up JaVale McGee, who's now past his prime, getting Turner would just give the Warriors an average center. For those of you wondering, Looney did not qualify for this statistic as he didn't meet the minimum attempts made. Wiseman, on the other hand, was at 63% his rookie year, ahead of Enes Freedom and both Nikolas, Vucevic, and Jokic. I'm pegging Wiseman to be in the 50s when he returns to the court, as he cannot reasonably be expected to play any worse defensively than his first year in the league up against top tier players without ever having any proper NBA training or preparation. There are 3 issues at the moment with this trade and why the Warriors aren't likely to even consider it. The first is that James Wiseman has yet to come back onto the court. No one knows how well he will perform, and he could potentially be as much of a rim protector as Myles Turner by the time the Warriors get to the playoffs this year. He has all the tools, and with the top tier coaching staff the Warriors have provided, it's only a matter of time before he gets there. The second is that Myles Turner is likely already hit his ceiling as a rim protector and an all-around center. It is likely that Wiseman eclipses Turner in rather short order. If he does so within the next year and the Warriors had gone ahead, pulled the trigger and traded him, this would have been one of the biggest regrets of the 2022 season. The other one being not trading Damian Lee by the end of the deadline. Okay, I'm kidding. The third and final issue is that it will take time for Myles Turner to learn to play alongside Steph Curry in the Warriors offense, and won't provide an improvement over Wiseman in that department. The fact that the paint will not be nearly as easily penetrated when Turner is on the floor gives the Warriors assurance, considering the Warriors are currently lacking size in the paint. Problem is, the Warriors also solve that issue just by having Wiseman's presence. This limits the value of Myles Turner's impact in a trade. If the team had no true 7-footer to come in, then there would indeed be a high value on Myles Turner. However, this isn't reality. The team's interior defense will be upgraded with Wiseman's return, even if he's only slightly improved from last year. To sum it all up, should the Warriors give up their number 2 overall draft pick with a sky-high ceiling, who's about to start his second year along with 2 backup veterans, and another first-round pick for a player that may only be slightly better than one of these players for the next 365 days? I say this trade was proposed by an honest Pacers fan that wants something to talk about other than Reggie Miller. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Am I way off base in my trade assessment, or should Bob pull the trigger and make it rain? Thanks for watching. Till next time.
I'm a player, slayer. I don't give a prayer, man. A naysayer. I block so hard, sweetie get served. Call me Lonzo Ball, bitches get swerved.
Usually I don't get down with these girls, but tonight it's so much.